You've heard it 100 times. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, neuroscience has a different answer. Your brain is not a fixed machine. It's more like a living forest. Pathways grow, others fade, and every single day, you hold the map. This is neuroplasticity. And it's the single most important discovery about the human brain in the last 100 years. Let's start with a simple question. Why is it so hard to change a habit? Why do you keep reaching for your phone, eating that extra cookie, or falling into the same old argument pattern? Because your brain has built a superhighway for that behavior. Every time you repeat an action or thought, you deepen that road. The more you use it, the wider and faster it becomes. That's the Hebbian rule. Neurons that fire together, wire together. But here's the beautiful part. If you stop using that highway, it starts to crumble. Grass grows through the cracks. New paths can form. This is not magic, it's biology. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. It happens every moment, whether you're aware of it or not. When you learn a new language, when you recover from an injury, when you simply remember where you put your keys, that's plasticity at work. But there's a catch. Your brain is lazy. It prefers the old, easy path. Change requires energy, and energy costs. So your brain will resist. That's why motivation alone fails. You need a system. Here's what the science of neuroplasticity tells us about how to actually rewire your brain. First, repetition without rest is useless. Your brain consolidates new connections during sleep and quiet wakefulness. If you practice something for an hour and then immediately jump into another task, much of that learning evaporates. The magic happens in the pause. So learn in focused blocks, then do nothing for 5 to 10 minutes. Let the neurons settle. Second, attention is the gatekeeper. No attention, no plasticity. You can repeat an action 1,000 times mindlessly, your brain won't change. You have to be present. You have to care. That's why just do it without awareness doesn't work. You need to actively notice what you're doing. Third, error is required. Your brain learns more from mistakes than from perfect performance, because a mistake signals a mismatch between expectation and outcome. And that mismatch is the trigger for change. So stop being afraid of failing. Every failure is a gift to your neuroplasticity. Fourth, small steps beat giant leaps. Trying to change everything at once triggers your brain's threat response. It shuts down plasticity and locks you into old patterns. That's why Japanese Kaizen tiny 1% improvements works. Your brain doesn't feel threatened by a glass of water every morning, but it does feel threatened by a radical diet, a brutal workout, and a meditation marathon all on the same Monday. So here's your 30-day neuroplasticity protocol. Week 1, pick one micro-action. Something so easy you can't refuse. 5 minutes of reading. 1 glass of water. 3 deep breaths after waking. Do it every single day. Don't add anything else. Your goal is not the action itself. Your goal is to prove to your brain, I keep my promises. Week 2, add a tiny challenge. Still keep the first action. Now add 1 minute of something slightly uncomfortable. 1 minute of cold shower. 1 minute of silent sitting. 1 minute of stretching. Just 1 minute. Week 3, introduce error practice. Pick a simple skill where you're bad. Draw a circle badly. Speak a foreign phrase with an accent. Dance poorly. Do it for 2 minutes and laugh at yourself. This actively trains your brain to be comfortable with failure, which is the gateway to all learning. Week 4, consolidate with rest. This week, you keep all 3 practices, but you also schedule 10 minutes of do nothing after each one. Lie on the floor, stare at the ceiling. Let your brain cement the new pathways. By the end of 30 days, you won't be a different person, but you will have built one thing that matters more than any single habit. Trust in your ability to change, because neuroplasticity is not about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming someone who knows that change is possible, and that knowledge changes everything. Your brain is waiting for your command. Not a loud, desperate command, a quiet, consistent one. Start today. One micro-action, then another. Your neurons will follow.